Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode here at Tribal Trades, the daily show coming at you from the great state of Florida. One hell of a drive. And I do want to welcome you to the channel wherever you are tuning in from around the world. Thanks for watching. The title of today's show is the Bitcoin conference going to be a sell the news event that we pumped into this conference, and is there going to be a sell-off? We're going to look at what history says and what the chart says as well. We're going to talk about a whole bunch more. Before we do that, smash the like button. This does help get this channel out to more people and does, of course, help support the channel, as does your wonderful comments that you take the time to write. I take the time to read them and respond. So let's jump over to the Bitcoin charts and have a little bit of a quick look and see what we can see. And as you can see, we got a little bit of a bullish reversal signal on the Tribal Trades indicator, one indicator to rule them all, and that did give us a bullish reversal. We'll see how that one plays out there but you can see the last one that we actually had did work out quite well, and there were a couple over here, so it's very interesting. These are the ones that I turn the strongest ones here. This is a bullish reversal here. You get the dot and the arrow at the same time, and you can see how good of a signal that was. If you'd gotten in when that was down there, when I was sharing that I was buying, that is some increase that you have seen. Okay, so let's talk about the Bitcoin conference. And before we do that, I did want to have a look at what we do. This is another possible bull flag here. Now, again, we've seen all these bull flags played out, and I did give you a technical target of 113,000, and we didn't quite reach it. It's always around there. It's not an exact number, so it's pretty close. Does that mean we're going to get that? We did get a sell signal there. That was when there was a tweet, and then we had the tweet got undone, the tweet that the tariffs were going to be 50% on Europe, and then Europe asked for a delay, and the administration said yes, and so there was a nice little recovery there on the market there. Okay, so let's just talk about what's happened previously. And previously we have seen, and I'm only going to go from 2021. And by the way, I thought it was very interesting. If you're wondering why this market has been so up and down, there is a trader on here, James Wynn, although somebody said somebody needs to change his surname from Win to lose. And he has lost a lot of money. Every time he goes short, the market makers pump the market to try and liquidate him. And then before he gets liquidated, he sells at a loss. And then he goes long and then rinse, repeat. And so he was up 70 million actually 8 days ago, but apparently he never took profit. And I believe he's lost so far now about $65 million just in the last few days. So kind of crazy there. I just thought that was a very interesting story. Keep an eye on that. You can actually follow the guy on X, although it's a little bit painful to watch this all play out. I'm like, dude, just short the market so the market makers will pump it there. But anyway, so in 2021, there was about a decline of about 20 odd percent about within 47 days post-conference. And so in 2022, we saw a substantial drop of around 40 to 50% within 40 days of the conference. But that was really highly kind of magnified by the Terra Luna collapse there. So let's look at more recently, and I think this will probably give us a little bit more. 2023, a correction of around 7% was observed post-conference, with prices moving sideways or slightly down for months. And then in 2024, again, a decline of around 6%, followed the conference aligning with the pattern of short-term tops. And so that's generally what's happened. Okay, so let's have a look here and see what that would bring us if we were to drop around about, and let's just say we'll take it from around this 110,000 price. If we were to drop about 6%, that would bring us down to round about that 103, 104. 7% would bring us down to that 102. So that would kind of be a little bit of retest. Might create a head there. There's already a left shoulder and a head. Yeah, so there's a long way from playing out there. So that would be, if we're historically going, that's what we would see. Now remember, we have had the golden cross. Okay, we are seeing that at the moment. That's a good signal. Okay, there's a golden cross there, good signal. We do have a buy. for Bitcoin there. I do want to look at the altcoins as well, just very quickly, what total 2 is up to, and that's in a bull flag as well. And we do have a buy signal there for the altcoin market is above. It's really been battling with that 200-day moving average. This is absolutely critical. At some point, I'd love to see these cross, and we'll get a golden cross for altcoins. So at the moment, there is bullish momentum for the altcoin market. And I still do believe, if we look at Bitcoin dominance here, we can see if we just quickly check that out, Bitcoin dominance there, you can see that we're really deciding about whether this is going to roll over and be a higher low or turn into a bull flag there. And so it'd be nice to see this break down and then create a higher low and then a lower low there. And then we would see the alts really begin to run there as well. Now, I have been looking at stocks also, and we have Nvidia earning plays coming up. So I did give a couple of stock trades today in the Tribal Trades Discord. And this was a fantastic here. The Tesla Long ETF, the entry was at $15 there. And if we have a look over here, we can see that we got this beautiful buy signal from the Tribal Trades. This is the neutral bullish reversal, and that played out beautifully here on the charts, and you can see that's already up on the place. I know some people took some profits already on that trade, of course, as well. You don't have to wait to get to those targets there. You can also just take profits as you please, and you don't need to wait for a sell signal either. Now, if you'd like to get access to the new Tribal Trades indicator, you can only get access by being a subscriber of the Tribal Trades Discord. There is a link below in the description. You just might have to click the more button. That will pop out and you will get that included in your subscription, as well as live trading sessions with me, normally on Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week, we're going to do it actually Wednesday today, because I wanted to just wait one more day, so that we're going to do a special Discord training session on the new indicator. I'm going to step through it step by step. We're going to do some trades with it as well. Of course, you can trade with me. That's going to happen Wednesday, and you're going to be able to join in with that if you're a member of the Tribal Trades Discord, okay? And of course, we have lots of other sections, as you can see in the Discord. Of course, my favorite one of all is the wins section there. A nice win, Tribal Trader. I take the trade, thank you, from the trades. I give trades in there every day. There, I love seeing Donut, the Thunder from Down Under. They're making a $562 trade there. Listen, he's paid for the Discord again for the next year, just in one trade there. It's just less than a cup of coffee per day, and you can have access to this wonderful trading community there. And Nikola Tesla is always bringing the fire, and lots of Izzy Lanes as well. Love that. Izzy Lanes getting some wins in there. And then these are all the Asian trade. April Parker. I love this one. I believe this was the Tesla one here. Absolutely fantastic. There it is. Brilliant trade there from April. Well done there. And then Izzy again. And some great trade there. Maddox coming in with some great trades. So Donut just in there. He's got his own personal. I think at some point, we might need to give Donut his own wins section in the Discord. He's just stacking the gains in there. Absolutely fantastic. You can see all the different channels. We have the trading signals channel. So if you just you don't have time, you just want to buy when the buy signal is posted and sell when the sell signal is posted. You can also catch those trades as well. Lots of great, and there's the Tribal Trades indicator that you can get access to just as being part of the Tribal Trades Discord there. Now, we also had in the stocks plays, we had an Nvidia there because the earnings are coming out. And so there was an entry there, and still in this play, by the way, there it is, the buy signal there. And this play, I'm just going to wait and see how this plays out over the next, I guess, the earnings is after market hours, market close today. And so we'll see how that plays off. So we'll hold that a little bit longer. Hasn't super popped right now. If we actually look at the Nvidia chart there, we do see the same thing there, that buy signal there for Nvidia, and we see that play. And again, it looks to be a nice bull flag there, and that could play out nicely if we break to the upside. We should get a technical target for that to the upside for Nvidia. Let's have a quick look at what that could work out to be there. Have a quick look there. Okay, and these worked out well. We did this for Bitcoin, and that worked out really well. They're never going to be exact, but they're pretty close. Can give you a good idea. So somewhere around this 160 to around 162. So that would bring us in line. Looks like a nice Fibonacci there. So that could be a nice move to the upside. I would see us getting up to around this 160 mark there. Now remember, bull flags, they have their historical percentage is a 2/3 chance statistically that they will break to the upside and 1/3 that they break to the downside there. So let's see how that plays. We're in this Nvidia play there in the stocks plays, and you can either take it with the Nvidia long ETF, which is NVDU, or you can actually take that trade with the actual stock there as well. And let's give a price for the stock at what could be a decent look. If we're fortunate enough to come back to that 127 level there, that could work out quite well. However, they're just around about where the price is when it gave that buy signal, which was around about 133. So anywhere 133. And of course, if you believe that's going to pop up there, you could take this nice little trade. And here's the deal, really, when you see a break above this into 136, then it's looking to break out of this bull flag, and we could see a nice move up. And there is 130, around 139, and then 141 would be those upward targets there if you just wanted to trade the stock itself, Nvidia. So I do see across the board there is, I'm not saying that Bitcoin is going to sell off. We've historically have seen it sold off post-conference. There is a little bit of a sell in May and go away. We haven't really seen that. So could it be a sell in June and go away? Let me know what your thoughts is. Do you think Bitcoin's going to have a bit of a sell-off? Do you think there's going to be a bull flag created here? It's a bit of a small one there. We could see a little bit of a pump higher. And we could have a look at how much that might end up being there. If that did play out there, it would actually be around, let's have a look and see where this would possibly go. That would take us up to about 120,000 there if that one was to play out there and we were to see another climb up, okay? So that's how that could go. Usually in the summertime, Bitcoin does historically tend to go sideways and down. However, maybe not this time. Maybe the cycle's a bit accelerated. In April, in 2021, we saw a dump that lasted in June. This time it happened in January and it lasted until April. So it lasted about the same amount of time. And some people believe that the Bitcoin top will be in June, and some believe July, August, and some believe that the 4-year cycle is over. What do you think? When do you think Bitcoin will peak and start to tumble there? And of course, if we go based off what we saw in the last cycle, there were two tops. One was at 65 and one was at 69. Now we've seen a top at 109. Have we seen a top at 111, or are we going to push on to around that 120,000 or higher? I'd love to hear your thoughts on that and what you think might happen in the market next, and why. I always love hearing differing opinions and points of view that I may not have considered. And so that's what we're looking at the moment. And again, just because Bitcoin has sold off and been a sell the news event at the Bitcoin conferences usually after, doesn't mean that history is going to repeat. We have seen some different things happen this cycle, like Bitcoin made that new all-time high before the halving, which it had never done before. And that's why some people are saying this could be a little bit more of an accelerated cycle and could end as soon as June or July. I'm more leaning towards the August, September timeframe myself, but I'm not ruling out an early end. And of course, I don't think Bitcoin's going to drop as heavily as it has in past cycles either. I'm more thinking around a 40 or 50% drop there, maybe even 30%. And I feel like it might trade a lot more closely to what the stock market does, and maybe altcoins are the one that goes into that heavy bear market as usual, where Bitcoin doesn't. And in fact, I do think altcoins will have a bear market. Just what I'm saying is maybe Bitcoin doesn't go down as far, just like we saw in the January drop. Bitcoin did not drop as heavily as the altcoin market did. All right, well, that's all I have time for today. Thank you again for tuning in, and as always, until the next episode, or until I see you on the Discord, happy trading.